Well, there we go. Finally. Jesus Christ, the streaming service. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Suspended Animation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for spoiler alert. So no, I don't have the new internet app as of yet. That was a whole clusterfuck in and of itself yesterday. So yeah, I'm stuck with the crappy internet still, which is why it took me like 5 minutes now just to get on here and actually stream, which is just really fucking stupid. It could also be the Russians. I don't think so. It's just Astound is what the name of the fucking shit company that I have for internet. Yeah. Anyway, welcome everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops up here just for you. And if you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you don't want to be notified by YouTube, which obviously supposedly someone got notifications today, hit that bell down below and YouTube won't send you a notification unless absolutely necessary of when I come on live. Otherwise, you can go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also have all the links to my social media on there and all the links to my pages as well. Much better now that we're up and streaming. So there wasn't enough news this week to actually, warrant a Saturday morning blast off or a Sunday edition of Saturday morning blast off. So that's why it's a spoiler alert right now. I still haven't seen the Batman yet. People are going to be asking, and I'm going to be seeing that in about a couple hours here. So we'll see how that goes. So, the little bit of news that I do have, I've only got 6 things here. So, Fede Alvarez, who did the really bad Evil Dead remake, and then of course the what is it? I Can Hear You Breathing, or uh, you know, blind creepy guy, stalks shitty teenagers in his house and rapes them to impregnate them. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, and also he's just a shit person because he was crapping on his actors and actresses too. So anyway, Fede Alvarez is going to write and direct a standalone Alien movie for Hulu, which Ridley Scott's going to produce. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I'm more interested in the Noah Hawley Alien series that's going to be coming out on Hulu than I am for this piece of shit that is going to be by two people who I really have no, yeah, I have no interest in. There's a lot of news on your TV. Wow. Yeah, I can see why, Stanley. I'm trying to move away from that kind of news, Stanley. That's why I'm doing this here. Mark says my friend saw the new Batman movie. Well, he didn't tell me if he liked it or not. He offered to go again when I can go see it. So I'm assuming he liked it. Or he could just be sitting there and go, "See, isn't this shitty? Isn't this part shitty too? What the fuck is up with this?" You know. You could have someone like that that's going with you, Marks. You never know. Yeah, I've been keeping away from the spoilers on it. I kind of have a feeling I already know, like, one of the major plot twists, if you will, involving the Riddler and the reason why he looks like the Zodiac killer and all that kind of shit. I'm not going to voice it at the moment, but well, I'll voice it. I'm what I am speculating is that Riddler as a child, um, since supposedly they know each other. Bruce Wayne and his family knew each other as children in this version, from what it looks like. Is he's the one that actually killed Bruce Wayne's parents? That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, I don't blame you, Stanley. I kind of figured, a lot of people are going to wait for streaming on this too. I Am Legend 2 is in the works with Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan attached. And Akiva, I fuck up everything I touch. Goldsman is writing the script. So, yeah, I mean, I know Akiva Goldsman wrote the script for the first one, which is why it was so fucking horrible. Um, I'm not holding out much hope for the second one either. So it's yeah. Will Smith keeps trying to resurrect his movie career every couple of years, and I mean, sure, he did the Oscar bait stuff with what was it, the Serena Williams dad biopic that he did in November, which I think came and went. And I don't know if anyone saw the one showing that showed in the theaters before it got pulled. Yeah. Yeah, it's an automatic skip for me as well. I mean, considering that no one has still done the original novel and hasn't done that, I mean, if you've never read the original novel by Richard Matheson, who, by the way, is a science fiction legend, and while why no one reads his stuff. Anyway, if you haven't read the book, go and read the book, and then you'll see why it hasn't been done correctly. And when it's been done correctly, then you'll see why it's actually a fucking terrifying novel. Not for the fact of what is happening to the main character, but what the main character is. So, yeah. CBM says, geez, I got completely knocked out of YouTube for a sec. I'm not surprised. I mean, I was having problems streaming CBM, so I don't know. Yeah, the original novel is so much more interesting. Uh, yeah, and I'm not a big fan of Will Smith either anymore. So Stanley says, didn't he write some of Star Trek? Yes, he did. He wrote some of Star Trek. Akiva Goldsman's also responsible for the first season of Titans. And that whole horrible dialogue that you could predict coming from a mile away. I want to say he was involved with Showgirls as well. I think he was in that. Akiva Goldsman is like the worst screenwriter who keeps getting work, kind of like Damon Lindelof, and that whole group of people. Yeah, the J.J. Abrams crew that gets work. I kind of equate him with that. CBM says it just seems like he plays Will Smith over and over, and unlike some people who play themselves, he's not that likable. Yeah, I agree with you. I kind of wish he'd just retire from acting and just go into a producing role or something like that and just produce movies. Because, yeah, I can't remember the last Will Smith movie I actually enjoyed that I saw. I mean, I did see Gemini Man. I saw it on some streaming service for free, and that was just horribly bad. I mean, just horribly bad. Um, God, yeah, I can't remember the last good thing that Will Smith has done. Maybe it was Independence Day, and that's back in the 90s. So there you go. So some good news here. March 16th, all of the other Marvel TV series will officially be available on Disney Plus here in the United States, Canada, and in Europe. So all the Netflix Marvel series, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, unfortunately Iron Fist, also Agents of Shield, all of that are going to be over on Disney Plus now officially, which is good because I mean, yes, I know they've been on Netflix and stuff like that, but I don't know. You have to kind of dig for it on Netflix, whereas I think Disney Plus's interface is a bit easier to navigate. So maybe I'll rewatch a couple episodes here and there. Especially some of the Daredevil fight scenes. Oh yeah, also the Punisher as well is going to be on there. And I guess Disney Plus now the app has put in more robust parental guidance um, controls so that kids aren't watching the Punisher like kill people, or Jessica Jones where you have a serial killer you know forcing someone to put their own hand in a garbage disposal. Yes, that actually does happen in the series. So, CBM says they had to introduce a parental control function. Yes, yeah. Let's see. Oh, and also good news, everyone. John DiMaggio is returning to the Futurama revival over at Hulu. Bendergate is officially over with. Yes. So Bendergate is over with, and yeah. Mork says Star Raised by Wolves season 2 fell asleep. It's still it's a horrible mess. I'm actually stuck on I think episode 3 or 4, somewhere around there. And yeah, it's it's fucking stupid. Although I do have to admit it is kind of funny. Remember when Marcus had what's her face's he had the robot's eyeballs stuffed down his throat. Um so she ends up getting them back, and I guess she can do like the magnet thing where she just kind of, brings them up from his stomach and out his mouth, and that was actually kind of funny. I did watch the first 3 episodes of Our Flag Means Death, and that first episode that was directed by Taika, Waititi, almost made me turn it off. I was 5, maybe 10 minutes in, and I really just wanted to turn off the episode because it was just that bad, and I'm glad I didn't, because that was the only horrible episode out of out of the first 3. He went back to the old, Kiwi style of directing and humor and all that stuff, and it was just really unfunny and just, painfully so, honestly. It was like he really went into it, delved deep into it, and it just sucked. And then the last 2 episodes, or the episodes 2 and 3, were directed by the same person and written by different people, and it was so much better that, yeah. And I have to say Leslie Jones as, a pirate is really fucking funny if you get a chance to watch it, especially with her wooden hand, which looks so she's got some really big fucking hands, and, yeah, so I didn't recognize that she has a wooden hand. Her right hand is a wooden hand, until about a good, like, I wanna say 3 or 4 minutes into her scene, and I'm like, "Holy fuck, it's a" and I mean, because she keeps waving it around, she's got a cigar in it, and she's waving it around, and I started laughing when I finally realized because it looks like her hand. They did a good job of it. Yeah. Stanley says, "I heard good things about Picard season 2." No, I haven't heard anything good about it. Yeah. Somebody said that, what was it? It was something online. Again, they used the woke thing, "Oh, the woke speech at the beginning turned me right off, and I turned it off." So, it's like, "Alright, whatever, man." So, um, Taika can be a bit much. Thor 3 was great, but sometimes it felt too funny, like, I don't wanna laugh sometimes. I had no problem with Thor 3. He actually, I think they kind of directed him in how to direct, and that actually worked for me a lot better than all of his other stuff that I've seen him do. Yeah. And also he plays, Blackbeard in, Our Flag Means Death, so that's kinda funny. Mark says, "I'm not a fan of Leslie Jones." I'm not really either, but she works in this one. This one, it's a toned down Leslie Jones, so she's not doing the whole, um and I hate to say this, but, I mean, her Ghostbusters, character, that was blackface. I hate to say it. It was just one of those things I was like, "Oh," it was cringy, is really what it is, and this is not her. She's not doing that in this. This one, it's a lot better. She almost plays a proper villain in this one. So, I dug it. She did a good job. And yes, Jojo Rabbit is fucking phenomenal. If you haven't seen Jojo Rabbit, which is, Taika Waititi as well, it's a great movie to watch. It's dark, and it's very dark humor, but it works fairly well. Yeah. Like I said, Marks, that first episode, you're gonna wanna turn it off, just resist the urge, power through it, and then you can get to the 2nd and 3rd episode. Yeah, that first episode was just fucking rough. It really was. It was just very, 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 very rough. So, um, so Kevin Smith is launching a comic book line featuring his movie characters, like Blind and Chronic and all that shit for Dark Horse Comics. I want to say 20 years too late, man. So, if you had done this 20 years ago, maybe, maybe, but now no one really gives a shit. None of the kids that are looking at comics now are going to be watching it. You might get some of the Kevin Smith fans, like all 5 of them, to buy some of these comics, but that's about it. Yeah. CBM says a lot of these comic actors are great, but they really need better material to work with and probably shouldn't have too much control over writing. I agree with you completely. Yeah. The one thing I actually would be interested in hearing from, I know Taika has been doing a lot more acting lately, in between his directing gigs, and I know he's an accomplished director. He also writes and stuff like that as well. But I'd be interested in hearing from his castmates if he, like for Free Guy, for example, he plays the villain in Free Guy. If he kind of starts giving notes to the director when he's acting, or if he can actually separate that, you know, that would be kind of an interesting thing. Yeah. Mark says Kevin Smith is like Betty Boop. They had their time long ago. Not many people care about them now. I agree with you completely. Yeah. Yeah, he still wants to remain relevant and he's not. Um, it's just really, it's sad more than anything else. I mean, the whole He-Man, the Masters of the Universe Revelations was just crap. And I still stand by my theory on it was that it is a reaction to his heart attack that he had, this major heart attack that he had. It's a Judeo-Christian reference. A lot of it is to that. And that's how he was working it out, was through this Masters of the Universe Revelations. And it's horribly bad because it's filtered through that prism. Even though it's supposed to be for kids and it's supposed to be based on an 80s toy line. It's just really weird. But I was sitting about halfway through that first half of that season, and I was just like, "Oh, that's what he did. Okay. Yeah." And yeah, I agree with you, Stanley. Kevin Smith is I whenever Kevin Smith is a spokesperson for something, goes, "It's great." I'm like, "Yeah, so they paid you a lot of money to say that, or they paid you in hamburgers or whatever it is that you're eating now, your veggie burgers, stuff like that, or in pot." Because yeah, we all know that he has no discriminating taste whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, dude liked, the prequels, and he also liked the J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson, all that shit movies too. So fuck him. And the final thing that I have in this news stuff, again, this is a mishmash of news and also spoiler alert. 20th Century is now looking at generating 10 plus movies a year for Hulu. So, yeah, Hulu is going to be getting movies like first run movies, if you will. So one of the first ones out there, I believe, is this summer called Prey, which is the another Predator movie, and it's set in the 17th century out in the Great Plains of what is going to become the United States, and it's actually one of the Carries from Legion. She is going to be playing a tribal woman who is a warrior who is being hunted by one of the predators out in the plains there, the Great Plains, and that's what that is all about. And I'll watch it on Hulu. I mean, sure. But that's what also that, Fede Alvarez, Aliens movie, that's coming through that as well. It's going through Hulu, kind of like what HBO Max is doing with, some of their DC properties, like the Batgirl movie, which is coming through, HBO Max. It's not gonna be theater released. What else are they doing? The Booster Gold and Blue Beetle movies are both going to be going through HBO Max. I'm trying to think of what else. They have a couple things like that, but this is going to be the same thing. So 20th Century is going through Hulu since they're owned by Disney. So that's how they're handling that offshoot of the company, which makes sense. I mean, Disney doesn't want to put a lot of money into some of the stuff that caused Fox to have to sell themselves off. So that's what they're doing in the yeah. It's the model that everyone's going with at the moment. So all right, that's all I got news-wise. What else did I watch? I've watched, The Boys Diabolical, the animated series, and actually, it's fairly simple to watch. Some episodes are 7 minutes long, some are 15 minutes long. They're no more than 15 minutes in length. And I'll have to say this much, the one that's based on the, comic, they use the actual comics characters, from so the comic that came out, they used that design style to do an animated segment, and it's one of the best segments. And they got Simon Pegg to voice Huey. Um, so yeah, that's actually kind of fun. Stanley says, "I'm curious, were those Hulu movies will appear in Europe if they're still a Europe then? Possibly. I don't know. um, Stanley said, I watched episode one. Not sure if I'll continue. You watch episode one of Masters of the Universe, Revelations, or what? Oh, you're talking about the boys diabolical. They're all different, Stanley. They all have different tones. So CBM says, "Oh gosh, I really don't want to subscribe to Crave to get all the WB content. I can get it for the duration for of Doom Patrol, but all that time I only ended up watching 30 Rock. Okay, there's other stuff on there too, like they have the old Super Friends cartoons. There's also, Final Space I've been watching. Actually, I was watching an episode of Final Space before I came on here, which is decent. What else is out there? I mean, they have all the old, Warner Brothers stuff, like all the old, um, animated stuff from Warner Brothers, as well as the old TV series. I haven't seen the Batman TV series, the old 60s TV series on there as of yet, but they do have Shazam and Wonder Woman, the Linda Carter version, all that stuff out there. Dante asks, I know you don't watch Raised by Wolves, but I'm loving season two better. I am watching season two, Dante S, and it's still a hot fucking mess. The only thing I thought was funny was when she pulled the eyes out of Marcus, when she did the whole uh magnetic trick where she brought her eyes out of Marcus's up from his stomach out to his mouth. So CBM says probably on Disney Plus. That's where Hulu stuff is in Canada. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Um. Yes, it could be on the Star Channel. I'm fairly sure that's where it's going to be on the Star Channel. I know that's where the Netflix Marvel stuff is coming out onto the Star Channel. Dante S says it's a mess. Hope it all connects, but it's entertaining the hell out of you. Okay, as long as it's entertaining you. Yeah, I'm just finding it a really just big mess of stuff. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else I'm watching. Oh, actually, I started watching this series on Netflix. I'm only one episode in, but it just made me laugh. Called Making Fun, and it's this dude who's kind of this gruff guy who is used to work in the toy making industry, and then he realized he doesn't really like kids, and two, he really doesn't like making toys. So he quit, moved to upstate New York, bought a farm, and built his own shop, maker space, all that kind of stuff. And I guess he's kind of become a pseudo celebrity on Twitter for the stuff that he makes and all that, whatever. So they reached out to him to do a show where kids actually come up with ideas that if he likes them, if he sees some kind of merit in it, he'll make him for fun. Him and his friends will make it. So the first episode was called Dino Taco Toilet, where he and his friends make a 12-foot tall Tyrannosaurus Rex with a conveyor belt through through the back and up to the mouth. And it basically vomits tacos while someone sits on a toilet underneath the mouth and the tacos just drop to them. And it's actually pretty fucking funny. You'd think you're like, what the? No, it's actually really goddamn funny. There's a guy on there, one of his friends that is one of the manufacturers in there called Canadian Pat, who I would just love to see an entire series of nothing but Canadian Pat because he's fucking weird. I mean, bonkers fucking weird. This guy actually does wood turning, is what he does. So, yeah, he's weird. He's French Canadian, so I mean that goes without saying, but still, no insult to all you French Canadians. You fuckers know you're weird out there. So yeah, and I take you should take that as a compliment, really. Yeah, French Canadians are just fucking weird. That's all there is to it. So we'll leave it at that. But yeah, give it a shot. I mean, take a look at that first episode and tell me you don't fucking laugh at it. You know, uh, watch American Pat be the definition of white bread. I can see that, CBM. When's the Batman review? That's going to be on Tuesday. Dante S. I haven't seen it yet. I'm seeing it in a couple hours here. So, yeah. It's not supposed to be practical, Stanley. It's just supposed to be for fun. That's why it's called making fun. None of these things are practical in any sense of the word. The next episode is supposed to be rideable unicorns that fart glitter. Um, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, that would be an interesting Disney ride, to tell you the truth, at Disneyland, that everyone's riding on unicorns, maybe in a circle or on a track or something like that. And you have a little button where if you get in front of somebody, you can fart glitter at them, at the person that's behind you or something. And you win a prize at the end of it or something. That would actually be kind of fun. These are the weird things that I look at every now and then, and it makes me laugh. So I mean, take a look at it, see what you think, and have fun with it. I've been watching that in between episodes of Forged in Fire, so the knife making competition. Yeah. So Mork says I was looking into that show. I'll check it out. It's actually pretty funny. It really is, and also the graphic stuff. They have fun with the graphics and everything. At one point, he's showing his shop, like there's an overhead shot of his shop, and he says, "I have every tool imaginable." And you start seeing these little pop-ups, like it's saying lathe saw, blah blah blah, and then it says table, and then you hear the host of the show goes, "Really?" He says, "Really, graphics guy, table?" And then it goes pop another pop up and says bags that are underneath the table. He goes, "Really? Are you having a lot of fun now?" He goes, "Can we stop now?" And there's more pop ups that keep happening, and then he goes, "All right, are you done?" And says, "Okay." It's shit like that. It's kind of fun. It takes like 10 seconds and then it's out. Yeah. Dante S says the new Viking show is good, although the Crybaby crowd complained it was woke. No, it wasn't. I watched it. It wasn't woke at all. Good God. The thing is that they're using woke for anything now at this point. Oh, it's woke. Oh, it's woke. Fuck you, motherfucker. Anybody who uses woke as a verb, to describe shit that they don't like, fuck them. Yes, I know, Stanley. I was going to tell you that Outlander season 6 has started. I know that you're excited about it, and I can see your nipples from here. Yes. Congratulations, Stanley. Mork says, thanks, Dennis. Enjoy the Batman. Okay. See ya, Morks. Have fun. Sorry, my phone keeps blowing up for some reason. I don't know what was going on there. Yeah, I agree with you, CBM. It's the stupidest. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm trying to think of anything else I've been watching. That's pretty much been it. I've been trying to take it easy a bit, and obviously I'm not doing that many streams at the moment. So there's not really much out there that I want to cover streaming wise. I mean, I know we have coming up this week. I guess I know Picard season 2 is out there. I'm not watching it. It's looks like trash. I'm not going to watch it. The first season was trash. I'm not going to. I don't hate watch stuff, and nor should I. And I don't want to be that channel. So Stanley says, not sure if I should watch the new Vikings. Didn't finish the last Vikings show. Give it a shot, Stanley. It can't hurt. I mean, especially if you already have the streaming service, it's free to you or whatever you paid for it per month. Yeah. Okay, let's go take a look over at Suspended Fanimation and see what's coming up for the rest of this week because I can't remember offhand, off the top of my head. All right, but so Picard season 2, yes, already came out. The Boys Diabolical, yes. The Batman, yes. Oh, yes, that's right. The Orville New Horizons comes out on Hulu. The final season of The Orville on March 10th. So that'll be out. Upload season 2 comes out on Amazon on March 11th, which will be good. And then, of course, we don't have anything until the end of the month where Moon Knight comes out and Obi-Wan Kenobi, of course. So May 25th for Obi-Wan and May 30th for Moon Knight. Oh, excuse me. March 30th for Moon Knight and then May 25th for Obi-Wan. Take that back. Go back and forth there. So, yeah, there's not really a lot coming out. Last Kingdom new series out. Oh, I thought Last Kingdom was already canceled. Dante asks because Last Kingdom isn't that the one with the so it's kind of like Vikings Valhalla. It takes place in the same time period. And yeah. I haven't read anything positive about Picard season 2, Stanley. I don't know where you're reading those. Those must be like, pro Star Trek sites that everything's rah rah. Yeah, I haven't heard anything good about Picard season 2. But then again, I'm not really looking for it either. Oh, last season of The Last Kingdom came out last week. Okay. I'll have to take a look. Yeah. What else do we have? Oh, there's really nothing else out there. Yeah. That's all I got for you, unfortunately. Because, that's what happens. What's coming up? Tuesday, like I said, is going to be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? I'm gonna be covering the Batman. The Batman. Wednesday, I'm gonna be off. Thursday will be another episode of Resident Alien. That's right, Resident Alien. Friday, I'll be off. Saturday, I'll be off. And then Sunday, we'll roll back around again to either Saturday morning blast off, or if it's news light like it has been, we'll just do another spoiler alert. Do it that way. There's enough stuff that comes up here. I mean, I could also talk about The Boys Diabolical if you guys want that as well, and just do an Is It Worth My Time on that one. The only thing is, it's kind of hard to talk about that one because there's so many different styles in it. Yeah. Oh, you still haven't watched the most recent episode of Resident? It's actually pretty good, CBM. They did a good job on this last episode. Yeah, it actually has 3 distinct storylines going on and is good. All 3 storylines are good. So, yeah, we're right in that lull spot right before the summer programming kicks in, and then yeah. And hopefully, it does kick in, and we got some stuff coming up. Like an anthology episode? No, CBM. It's just there's a lot of the plot lines that have already been happening kind of diverge from each other and have their own screen time, I guess you could say, at that point. Is Resident Alien popular? Yeah, it is. Dante S. It's getting to the point where, even though I mean NBC Universal Sci-Fi or whoever Sci-Fi really don't promote it as much as they should. It's been going up for Emmys and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah. And people are talking about it. So not to mention that it doesn't hurt that and this is kind of a weird aside, but Peacemaker, the opening dance scene, for the intro, the choreographer for that is actually Alan Tudyk's wife. And Alan Tudyk actually did he was the guinea pig for the dance moves. So she recorded all of those dance moves using Alan Tudyk as the person doing it. And supposedly James Gunn has hundreds of hours of footage of Alan Tudyk dancing to that music, and then also doing the choreography that they were doing at the very opening there. So a lot of people, including me, want to see the Alan Tudyk version or the Alan Tudyk cut of that opening dance number set to the music. You know, I think it would be a lot of fun. It'd be a nice little extra, and I'm fairly sure that James Gunn is going to do that. I know they're going to do a DVD release for Peacemaker season 1, so most likely for whatever release they do, it's probably going to have that in there. Stanley says, could it be that Nathan Fillion is done for Resident Alien? Possibly. He could come back again. I mean, who's to say that all those voices don't sound like Nathan Fillion for all the octopi that are out there? I think it'd be kind of funny. They all sound alike. That would be actually humorous. It really would. So, with that said, I'm gonna let you guys go for the rest of the day because I'm gonna go and get ready and for my the Batman um, movie that I'm gonna watch. Yeah, it's in about 2 hours or so, but I've got some other errands I want to run too beforehand. So, with that said, thank you to everybody who joined me today in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, Take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. All right. With that said, thank you, everyone. I will see you again on Tuesday. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, I don't know, you may have really shitty internet service that doesn't want to load when you're trying to actually do a stream and pisses you off at the beginning, but everything works out fine in the end. And, anyway, I'm still changing out the service. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Tuesday. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care. Get those vaccine shots, get those boosters as well, and the flu shot as well while you're at it. And stay safe out there. Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend and relax, enjoy, or get out and do something, whatever you want to do at this point. Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your day and see you later.